What's up everyone, I'm excited to check in with Coach Carter and UT Martin on our College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series. I'm over my sickness, so expect consistent uploads from here on out, and in fact I actually have a football series planned, but I'll post a video about that soon. For now, let's focus on our Skyhawks and league play starting up again this episode. One last out-of-conference game before our OVC slate starts off, so let's head to Los Angeles to face off against Loyola Marymount, a school with a rich history. They've lost 7 of 8 to begin the season, but don't let that record fool you. They could easily have 4 or 5 wins, but they've had trouble closing out games. 5 of their losses have been within 10 points. They're a team that could easily fit in with Ohio Valley in the ball that they play. They have an up-tempo pace for Marymount, that's the ball they've played since the 1980s, and they'll try to make you uncomfortable with a full-court press. They're led by senior athletic big Roy Sherrington in points, and they like to share the rock. They got 3 players above 10 points a game, an impressive feat, and whether it's Shaquille Smith, Desmond Burton, Aaron Henderson, this team has shooting, slashing, and experience at every position. Some recruiting news before we hop in today, however, is Coach Carter, his board looks a little light, as we'll see in a second, compared to the preseason. The 3 players that Coach Carter took the biggest interest in were guards Dusty Harrison, Jimmy Largent, and forward Nick Burnett. Unfortunately, Burnett has signed with South Carolina State, and Largent becomes a Pirate in East Carolina. Coach Carter has been very fortunate over the years putting together his classes, but this season may be the most important, of course, considering that he's losing Saunders, Dwight Easley, Gene Schofield, and this offseason, Lawton, Faye, and Pierre Hamilton all become seniors. So these next 2 years in recruiting, it'll be crucial to have a direction to avoid a drop-off in record going forward. Nonetheless, let's travel out to Los Angeles for episode 27 here in year 4. I'm excited to be back with UT Martin and back with you guys. As Roy Sherrington and Chris Faye meet each other at the timeline, the ref has the ball, and we're ready to get underway tonight as Chris Faye wins it and UTM sets up, and it'll be interesting to see just how UTM plays an up-tempo team like this. As we've seen early on this season, UTM, they haven't run and gun as much as the first 3 seasons. They played a lot more mature basketball, as Aaron Henderson, that should be the first of what many threes attempted here for Marymount tonight. And now we see Easley going high to low for the lead right back. There's Chris Faye drawing the end one on the big body Desmond Burton inside. Faye's been a little up and down. He began the year with a 20-plus point performance against Tennessee. He's been a little quiet since. And now Lawton trying to close out on Shaquille Smith. He's tacked for his second personal of the night. So already some early foul trouble for UT Martin. And Smith, the senior, would step up, hit 2 of 3 free throws here, and it looks like we're going to get a good long look tonight at Davion Baez, the senior who hasn't played much in his career, but with Evan Schneiderman's redshirting, he's going to have an extended run this season, and especially tonight with no Luke Lawton for potentially the rest of the first half. Now Easley almost turns it over twice, but he doesn't care. He'll still make a dangerous pass and then slip the third one into Blaine Fry. Nice finish there. 12-9, Marymount out in front, but Easley already has 3 assists. The Lions offense has been operating without a hitch so far, 16-9, as Blaine Fry has the mismatch, a little drop step on the backup point guard for Marymount, and Fry, one of the few guys tonight actually getting some sort of traction on offense. That's his 3rd field goal right there. Now Conte Shirley will catch and fire. Yet another 3 for Loyola Marymount, and Coach Carter's forced to burn one. A slow start as some reserves check in. We got Teron Gardner, Jacques Diggs, and Pierre Hamilton now joining Blaine Fry on the floor. This one rotates over to Diggs, and that one takes a high bounce off the back iron and falls for Jacques. And him and Pierre Hamilton have had some struggles to begin this season. They're both only shooting around 30% from the floor after they closed out the season last year so hot. And speaking of hot, that's what Loyola stays with a jump shot there from Duncan Tillman, but leaving the right wing unattended due to the press. Jacques Diggs has a free lane to drive. He's making quite a bit of an impact here to begin this game. So despite his struggles, Jacques Diggs still trying to remain resilient, and he would knock down 2 of 2 here. But one thing I didn't know until later on in the game is Jacques Diggs actually sustained an injury when he got fouled here, a broken finger. So for the next 3 and some weeks, he's going to be dealing with that. So already Jacques Diggs dinged up as we're trying to finally solidify some offense as Easley misses his 4th shot, but now Teron Gardner's there to clean it up. 25-17, and now some defense is being played. A kick out to Easley, nice pass from Schofield, and still Easley is unsuccessful. Still without a 3 ball in the game as an entire team. As we get back and stop a secondary break there, but yet another turnover, this time from Blaine Fry, and pulling up is Jacoby Morris, and that shot is tipped Blaine Fry, he makes up for it, and Saunders turns on the Jets. Nice kiss off the window. 27-19. It's under 10 points now. 33-21 Loyola, now driving with Will Ponder, and he has his pocket pick from behind Saunders. He steals it. The deflection goes to Easley as Diggs with a little cross, scans the floor, bounce pass, Easley. That one is a swish. Alright, so finally UTM with their first made 3 ball of the game. They're fighting with the Lions, trying to keep this thing under 10 points as we draw closer to the first half finish. 36 seconds left to go as Tillman drives, and Luke Lawton, who just came back onto the floor, he's the one tagged for the foul. I thought that shot was cleanly blocked, but the refs thought otherwise. So Luke Lawton, his return is short-lived, and Davion Bias is to come right back in on short rest. And this first half will be capped off with a nice assist from Saunders, feeding Fry into the post as he's up to 10, the leading scorer for either side, and Marymount is up by 9 as we head into the locker room. And with the way UT Martin's been playing to open up year 4, it's just been a very uncharacteristic first half. I mean, a lot of mental mistakes. We don't see that from a Coach Carter-led group very often, and an atrocious 1 for 11 3-point shooting as a team. Easley's the only one that made one, and that was in 5 shots. As Diggs was 0 of 3 as he nurses that hand injury. Davion Bias was 0 for 2 in his extra service with Luke Lawton dealing with foul trouble. And Coach Carter has never been afraid to give his players the green light, but maybe he's going to have to look to go inside, as Fry was a top scorer with 10, 4 or 5 from the floor, and Faye is 2 of 3. They've both been to the free throw line a lot as well. And Fry also has 5 rebounds and now another block, but Aaron Harrison cleans it up. A little unlucky there to begin this second half. Fry is nearing his second double-double of the season, as we try to go inside, and that one is blocked. Rory Sherrington sends it back. So UT Martin trying to reset, and Saunders drives baseline, knocks over Sherrington, and he'll draw the bump plus the foul. And UTM with a made free throw there, they draw within 8. 44-36, 11:35 to go, and there's Shaquille Smith with a friendly roll. The leading scorer for LMU in the first half. 7 points, now 10 for him, along with 4 assists from Smith. As Blaine Fry, the steals leader for the team a season ago, he collects one there and puts it in. He is a dog, isn't he? He's a menace. 14 points, one of the few guys really showing some heart out here. Hopefully that becomes contagious as Hamilton feeds it into Fry, and he finds himself wide open as he gives it back to Pierre, and the free throw line jumper is good. And sometimes when you're struggling like Diggs and Hamilton have been, it just takes that one to get your composure back and break that cold spell. So back within a possession, Teron Gardner playing off of the point guard Aaron Henderson to prevent a drive. He pulls, and LMU has really been settling for shots on the perimeter too much in the second half. That's one of the reasons why UT Martin has been able to close the gap. And take a look at that stop and go move from Saunders. Set up his man perfectly, and now he's really rebounded. 11 points for Saunders, as 7 of those have come in the second half. And now a bad lead pass from Jacoby Morris. He led Smith right under the rim, couldn't do much with it. 47-47, looking for the lead, and Teron Gardner puts his head down and finishes strong on top of some contact. Teron Gardner, he's been an anchor so far off the bench on offense this season. He's got 6 today. 51-47, Jacoby Morris with the silky smooth shooting stroke. Up to 5 points as the senior. It took 7/8 of this ball game for UTM to finally wake up, but now they are looking strong as ever. Luke Lawton finally checks back in. He records a steal immediately, and a tough finish through a lot of contact there as Saunders up to 15, averaging north of 20 points per game on the season. 61-54, maybe one more shot can end this game, not from Saunders at least, but Faye, who struggled today, he caps off the day with a very strong second chance layup right there. So UTM, it took them a while to wake up, but when they did, they took this game by 5 points. A huge comeback win here against Loyola Marymount, as we're seeing why Marymount is not 5-3, rather 1-7, 1-8 now. They've just had a problem closing out games this season. Blaine Fry with 18-12, 3 steals and a block, might be his best career performance we've ever seen from the sophomore. Marcus Saunders was 17, he woke up in the second half. And Easley, despite his struggles, did a great job manning the offense, playmaking, instead of looking for his own shot. Just another way to grow as a player. So Austin Peay is our first assignment here in OVC play. Both teams, their first conference games apiece, and they're 4-2. Every year there's so much turnover in the conference, so it's always just a question of who's going to battle at the top. and it looks like Austin Peay is returning another strong team. Every year they seem to be competitive. Kareem Hernandez is back, Karan Woodard is back, a lot of depth on this team. Former JUCO transfer Sean Loeffler, one of the best slashers in the conference, he returns, and Alan Ratliff is having a breakout campaign. They're also joined by underclassmen Brandon Lennox and Vondo Pitts, two guys that this program is very excited for going forward. And a quick disclaimer, don't be worried about not seeing your player play. I set up the schedule, I have all the games that I'm going to play planned out. I'm going to face everybody in the conference once this season, so you're definitely going to be seeing your player guaranteed one time at least. So, opening up conference play against Austin Peay, the OVC title defense, it begins now as Chris Fay once again wins a tip-off. And we're ready to get things underway with the games that really matter. On the first possession, Easley, who shot a measly 1 of 7, immediately takes it strong, no hesitation, as he looks for a bounce-back game. Easley under 10 points per game to start this year. Let's see if he can turn it around in conference play. Sean Loeffler trapped on the baseline, and that leaves room for Alan Ratliff to operate a deep 3 for the senior. A guy who's looking to finally put his name with the top guards in the conference. Saunders tries to answer a little long there, and Austin Peay, we've seen this so many times, they love to run, and check out that lead pass with the lob, a little fancy there from Kareem Hernandez, connecting with Alan Ratliff. The Governors of Austin Peay, they're not playing scared at all against the defending champions here in the Ohio Valley, up 9-2 already 5 minutes into the game. Another slow start for UTM, and now Blaine Fry coughs it up as turnovers, they continue to be a problem. Nice steal from Vondo Pitts, and leading the break is Kareem Hernandez. He knocks over Marcus Saunders, and some foul trouble again for UTM. Fry has one, now Saunders tagged with one, and Luke Lawton has checked out early again with an early 2 fouls. Now Brandon Lennox from 3, 15-2. Austin Peay on fire. Meanwhile, UTM, it doesn't even look like they got off the bus yet. And now Hernandez, one of the better three-point weapons in the conference, fires. They keep trying to pour it on, no good. Vondo Pitts is there for the board, but thank goodness we got Teron Garner to clean it up. Takes it away from Pitts and a nice spin to draw the defense towards him, Pierre Hamilton, and then he dishes it off to Davion Baez, who looks to have a much better performance this time around. And right as I say that, he catches and fires, finds some room against this 2-3 Austin Peay defense, and Baez with some solid minutes here in the first half in replacement of Luke Lawton. And now Brandon Lennox fires, no good. Karan Woodard's there too, crashed the glass, barely missing, but UTM's got to show some more fight. And now Pierre Hamilton with a rare turnover, bounce pass. Brandon Lennox, he finishes off the sequence. 19-9 Austin Peay. This has been a pathetic performance so far from UTM, as once again they are struggling to get anything going on offense. How about only 11 points 10 minutes into the game? Working this one around to Jacques Diggs, who's still playing dinged up. He will be for the next 3 and some change weeks. As Diggs, he fires a pass to Teron Gardner. It seems like every play that Gardner's made here in his freshman year has been a positive one, making his first 2 shots today. The Governors still in control, however. We got less than 5 minutes left to play. Still a 10-point lead. Make that 12 after an impressive drive from the freshman Brandon Lennox. He's up to 7, using his offhand to finish there in traffic. 27-13, 3 minutes left to go as Saunders catches and fires, and finally a Marcus Saunders sighting. He had a tough start against Marymount. He had only 4 points in the first half, but he finished with near 20. And now a tip pass. Teron Gardner again coming up big, and Easley leads the break, puts in the teardrop plus the foul on Steven Tyler. Back within 10 again. UT Martin just trying to claw and do anything they can to get back into this game. Easley making 2 out of his first 6 shots, and now a free throw goes for him as well. 27-18 Governors with less than a minute to play. Vondo Pitts from the high post, a nice dish inside to Tim Byers. Going high to low there, a big man to big man connection. 31-18, shot clock's turned off, and Easley's got away with making an impact on the last possession. He hits another one near the end of a half. 7 points for Dwight Easley. Now with 6 seconds left to go, that leaves the door open for plenty of time for the Governors to make another shot and extend their lead. That's what they get there. A tough 15-footer from Tim Byers, and Austin Peay finds himself well in control of this one, up a baker's dozen. And I think the biggest issue from UTM is just their lack of three-point weapons or consistency. I mean, they shot 1 of 11 in the first half against Loyola Marymount, and now 1 of 6 today. It's just so weird to not see the three-point shot utilized in a Coach Carter offense. And at least against Marymount we had the interior presence on offense, but today Fry and Faye still search for their first field goals. It might be cliche, but right now it just looks like the Governors, they just seem to want it more. I mean, we've become one of the best teams on the glass in the league, but P has been winning the post battle. They are up in rebounding differential by 4. Easley, Teron Gardner, and Davion Baez were the only guys with some life for us on offense. And the Skyhawks, who begin the year so well, beating Tennessee. I mean, it's just so weird to see them going through so much turmoil to begin year 4, as this really seems like the best team they've had all series long on paper. Still a 13-point lead. Missed shots from both sides to begin the second half until Dwight Easley's tacked for the foul on Alan Ratliff, who's continued to be a force this game. He was the leading scorer for both sides, now he's up to 12 points, and Brennan Lennox also had a nice first half with 8, the second leading scorer in Austin Peay. And finally, Easley catches and fires, up to 10 points, is the senior guard. 36-23 with 13:25 left to go, as feeding inside, that one is Hernandez, who has a pass taken away. Guess who? It's Blaine Fry, which leads to a nice lob pass from Dwight Easley. And if there's one good thing about Easley's struggles shooting the ball recently, his playmaking's been on point. He's looking to his teammates a lot more, already up to 4 assists today. 40-27 as Easley catches, fires, and another one drops for Dwight, up to 13 points. And there's been games in this series every once in a while where Easley will be the only guy shooting and making them. It looks like we're going to have to ride Dwight Easley today to a win. And P turns it over again. Hernandez with another sloppy possession, and Blaine Fry with his first field goal there. In UTM, the deficit's under 10 points for them, and it's pretty funny just how much this game is reminding me of the Marymount game. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but going back doors, Lennox and Faye climbs the ladder and sends him back. Saunders trying to take this one all the way, and returning the favor on the other end is Karan Woodard. Don't get it twisted, UTM, they've missed some shots they should have made, but that doesn't mean Austin Peay still isn't playing defense this game. But Saunders will say, hey, instead of the layup, I'll take the 3, it's simple math. His first make on 3 attempts. So now Saunders catches and fires again. This one with a foot on the line as Easley tallies assist number 4, and Saunders is in double figures as we close the gap within 5 as some bench guys check in, including Dominique Cleveland, looking to switch up these looks a little bit, trying to help with the rebounding disparity a bit. Dominique Cleveland with some rare minutes, and he's got Alan Ratliff on him. That's almost a foot of height difference, and the 7'2" Dominique Cleveland records a basket, everyone's favorite space eater. 45-42 feeding the post to Woodard, and now Cleveland commits his second foul in about 30 seconds. So I think the Dominique Cleveland experiment has come to a abrupt end. Cleveland, a sophomore, still got a lot of room to grow, to polish up his game, and finally maybe have a bit of a niche in the rotation. 47-42 as Gene Schofield checks in for Cleveland, and Hernandez, he's left unattended. Pierre Hamilton with a bad move there. He went under that screen. He got to be up right in his pocket. He is a marksman from deep. 54-46 as Saunders, he utilizes the cross, as rarely we see Austin Peay go into a man they did on that possession, and Saunders, he finishes strong there. 54-48 now, under 5 minutes left to play. UTM trying to play the role as comeback kids for the second time in a row, but Vondale Pitts records a basket there. A beautiful dish from Hernandez as he had the positioning inside. 3:43 left to go. Hernandez to the outside. There's Loeffler with a tough shot, well short, and looking to run is Pierre Hamilton. Surveying the floor, and check out that pass. Bang! From Saunders. A huge shot there, and a very smart play from Hamilton. A really small detail, but he gave that pass to Saunders, not where he was, but where he needed to be to catch and fire cleanly. But Alan Ratliff, he gets Saunders right back on the next possession, and it looks like this game is coming to a disappointing end, as UTM, they could not overcome the mountain, the hole that they dug for themselves to begin this game. 65-51 actually will be your score after Saunders pads his stats a little bit with a step back 3, and as he reaches his average on the season at 21. A very disappointing game. UT Martin just cannot stop getting out to slow starts for some reason. Something Coach Carter has to switch up. I'm not sure what the problem is, but maybe we should have used Easley more in the second half. We had a great second half overall, but just came up a little bit too shy. 6 assists, 15 points for Easley. He had his first really solid game in a while. And Alan Ratliff and Kareem Hernandez, they combined for 29 points in that backcourt of theirs. So back to the drawing board as we head into some simulating and finally a full 30 minutes played here against SCMU. Saunders with 22, as Chris Fay had his best performance of this season with 22 by himself, and Murray State, who's actually winless so far this year, 0-8. We were barely able to sneak out this game at home. It seems like no matter how good or how bad Murray State is, this rivalry of theirs between us, it doesn't matter. They're always going to give us a fight. 5 made 3 balls for Saunders. He reaches 21 points again, and Corey Connolly has 20, leading the Racers. So 7-2, 2-1 in the conference as we head back home to face the Tennessee State Tigers. As they had a really bad year last year, only finishing with 4 wins. They've already reached 4 wins this season, as they also have a very nice young recruiting class they're ready to bring in, and they're already making an impact. The Tigers have been looking to bounce back ever since Jasper Powell graduated a couple years ago, and they finally found some anchors to build around, such as Emmanuel O'Brien, who won OVC Freshman of the Year a couple seasons ago. So let's head back home and finally see if we can put this bad stretch of games behind us. And we're already getting off to a good start. There's a stop there, and Saunders slips a backdoor feed. Threads 2 Tiger defenders to Dwight Easley, and Easley, who was one of the few guys who really played well throughout the entire game last time out, he kicks us off, and LaShawn Williamson, he tries to stroke one there, no good. And Saunders, a little bit of questionable considering how much we've struggled from 3, but that shot selection, it doesn't matter. If you're a coach, when he fires it up, you're saying, hey, that's a bad shot. But when it goes in, you're saying, nah, that's a great shot. Backdoor though on this play, Terry Roberts. He's a very energizing freshman. He's good at attacking the rim with both hands, has a solid mid-range jump shot. So another young guy for the Tennessee State Tigers to build around. Saunders makes a layup, and then Blaine Fry snatches the inbound pass, but he gives it right back. Grant Logsdon picks up the steal, fires a pass into Tyler Cross, who converts the 3-point play. Blaine Fry too slow there. So a bad sequence from Fry as the turnovers continue to be a bit of an issue for UTM recently. And now Logsdon will fire as there's Davion Baez leaving him wide open. A bad move there, as he went for the steal and was tagged by Logsdon. Now Terry Roberts to the line, the second one missing, and now Logsdon on the glass. Grant Logsdon, a powerful wing. He's a tough guy to stop when he gets ahead of steam. 16-12 now with 8 minutes left to go. Baez surveys the floor. Jacques Diggs still playing a little hurt, and he'll deliver a nice pass into Teron Gardner, and it'll take him 2 chances to put this one in. Gardner, man, he continues to impress. 16-14, under 8 minutes to play. Bounce pass to the high post, Adrian August finds Roberts going back door, and take a look at that double clutch reverse from the underclassmen. I think we're starting to see a trend here, the Achilles heel of UT Martin's defense. Whenever these teams start playing as a team and spread out the attack, that's when it becomes tough to stop for UTM as Terry Roberts tries baseline. It's not often we see Pierre Hamilton get beat off the dribble, but that's what happened there. And now Easley has his pocket picked on ball. LaShawn Williamson coast to coast. And Williamson's had a tough first half, and we've seen that recently from opposing point guards. You talk about Aaron Henderson on Marymount, and then last game, Kareem Hernandez had a tough start, and now LaShawn Williamson having some troubles, so we're shutting down opposing guards pretty well, as Easley feeds the post in. There's Marcus Saunders, up to 10 points, as we've been riding him again to try to manufacture some offense. 26-21, shot clock winding down. Williamson, he started out 1 for 5, make that 1 for 6 as Easley gets a piece. And he's the one leading the break as well. Inside to Chris Fay, almost has it stolen, and now in all the confusion, there is Saunders left unattended. 13 points, over half of UT Martin's points, and Saunders is in line for a career night. But we need to spread out the attack. We can't have Saunders doing it all by himself. 28-24, that one rims out. There's an unfriendly rim to Irvin Beckham, who pulled it there. Rebound number 5 for Chris Fay, fading to the corner. Saunders about to do it again. Tickles the twine. How about Saunders with his 4th made 3 ball? Timeout for the Tigers. 28-27, UT Martin overcoming their slow start for the 3rd game in a row, but a tough take there. Nice pass from Terry Roberts as he fed Emmanuel O'Brien, the former conference freshman of the year, fed him perfectly. 30-27, trying for the 2 for 1 is UT Martin. They're trying to get a shot up quick, and they find one with Saunders for the tie. Another 3 ball. Saunders And it only took a monster half for the senior to tie things back up. His 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting is what's keeping us in the game. He's on pace to flirt with his career high of 40 he had back in year 2. And hopefully his shooting becomes contagious and we can finally break this cold spell as a team. And you could tell, despite the adversity on offense, UTM is still trying their best to play as a team. They have 8 team assists, and 4 of those are courtesy of Dwight Easley. And despite having an advantage on the glass, we definitely need to limit the Tigers' second chances. Our leading scorer is Teron Garner with just 3 points. So we got to keep playing our game at this point. TSU is led by 2-guard Terry Roberts with 7. Emmanuel O'Brien has 6 and 4 in a valiant effort. And Grant Logson has 5, the leader in points for TSU off the bench. But LaShawn Williamson playing some D. And how about Dwight Easley not giving up, snatching it right back? As Lawton leads the break, and this one will head out of bounds. Lawton, one of the main guys with a lot of turnovers recently, but at least we keep possession this time. As Faye tries it, and that was a nice lead pass by Blaine Fry, unsuccessful there though as they miss again. And Williamson, trying to break a cold spell of his own, he's up to 5 points. 33-32. As another turnover is forced by Williamson. That's his 3rd steal, but he gives it right back again. Chris Faye, Easley, another lob. This time it's Luke Lawton finishing it off for his 2nd field goal. Finally a game where Lawton does not have to worry about foul issues. He's had some really bad luck with some of these refs recently. Now up to a 4-point lead, our biggest lead of the night, as Saunders with 3 seconds left takes it on Emmanuel O'Brien. A mismatch indeed. And once again another tough take from Saunders. And he hits again, barely missing anything he's thrown up today. 24 points for the senior. 40-33, Blaine Fry at the line. This one will rim out, but Luke Lawton, yes, he'll put that in. And with all the second chance points we've given up today, we're starting to show some fight on the glass. More specifically on the offensive side. Now LaShawn Williamson into Adrian August, and a heads-up play there from Dwight Easley. August had the mismatch on Saunders, and Easley just comes in there when he's not looking and pokes it away. A tough shot from Lawton missed, and now Faye. He has been relentless. Everybody has as a team on the glass. Luke Lawton, Fry, and Faye, they're not giving up. Most of this offense outside of Saunders has come on second chance points, and Emmanuel O'Brien with a huge shot there, keeping the Tigers around. The Tigers face their biggest deficit of the night as Easley pulls. Nice screen from Blaine Fry. He's known for that nowadays. His 3rd field goal. Coming back quick though is Tennessee State. They've been in a bit of a slump to begin the second half, and Tyler Cross, who's had a solid game so far, he's up to 8 points. Nice pass from Emmanuel O'Brien going high to low. 54-42. UTM is starting to take control. The crowd's starting to get into it, and Pierre Hamilton with a nice feed into Davion Baez. This place is starting to rock now that the Skyhawks have found their footing again, and they rode that momentum to a 67-51 win as the subs came in for the last few minutes of this ball game. And even though UT Martin hasn't played their best basketball of recent, they're still starting out conference play 3-1, so you can't argue with the result. But UT Martin really has to get better at playing a full half of basketball. That defense though in the second half was absolutely relentless. How about 30 points for Marcus Saunders? They limited Terry Roberts to only a field goal in the second half. He did have 4 assists in the second half as well, however. And Emmanuel O'Brien, he had that 1-3, but that was it for him in the second half. So relentless defense was the name of the game today for UTM as they improved to 3-1 in the conference. And if the season ended today, they would be in the 2nd place seeding right now. But we still got a lot of basketball left to go before we can talk about the OVC tournament. So another episode of UT Martin is come and gone, but next time out I'm super excited to bring these games to you. Take a look at what the schedule has for us as we wrap up non-conference play. North Texas, who sits at 7-2, one of the better mid-major schools in the country, and then Memphis that same week, trying to get rematch on the Tigers for what they did to us a season ago in March Madness. And we also go up against Jacksonville State, and then simulate some after that. So there's the preview for next episode, taking a look at some of these team stats. Still a lot of time to improve. UT Martin, they haven't even been playing that well as a team, and they still find themselves near the top of the conference. And that should show you just how high the ceiling is for this team this year. Thanks for stopping by today. Let me know if you want to see that football series. I got some ideas, and check out my comment to see what game I'm talking about and some more details. I'll have a video about that coming soon.